Hey everyone, how's it going? Man, it has been exhausting. I have been banging my head trying to understand Photon. Uh, and that is at least for now, the multiplayer choice package that I'm going to be using for Unity to make multiplayer games. Um, and it has been a painful experience to start learning networking code and all of that. I ended up grabbing a game off of the asset store and started cannibalizing that code, right, to make it work for my game. And I found out that my game is kind of a bit more complicated, at least from the game that I've downloaded, because a lot of these games they focus on like the player is kind of one and the same with one of the game objects. For instance, if you're playing a first-person shooter, you know, that little guy that you're moving around with, that is the player. Or if you're playing like a little tank game that shoots missiles, that tank is the player. But in my game, there really is no player. You have a player that kind of owns these monsters or creatures, and so it's just, you know, I had to modify my code a lot, and the way I create my monster models is, you know, a lot of these game, at least the game demo that I got, you know, it created like a prefab over the internet of a tank. It's just one prefab, and that's very simple and straightforward and makes sense. But my objects, I made my life more difficult. Like my models and stuff, it's pieces. Like I spawn that stuff and I build it together and it fuses together into one model. Because I have a container, I have like the models itself, like the orcs, the dwarfs, and then I have the bases. And then, you know, actually I have two instances of the models, right? One model is when you see it on the board, but when you click move, you see my players move with that model movement animation. So I have a lot going on with just one little monster. And, you know, to make that, you know, online and to kind of instantiate that over a network, the Photon network, it was a pain in the ass, and I think I'm finally come around to making some progress. So I'm going to show you in this video the progress I've made so far. It may not look impressive at all, but it is a start. And, you know, I mean, I could just give up, but, you know, I'm going to keep pushing through. And it has been taking me a lot longer to learn. So, you know, the speed at which I can produce videos and make progress has been a lot slower, and that's, you know, a bit depressing. But it takes a long time to learn all this shit, man. And anyway, I think I'm making progress. And so here I have my Unity open, and I have an instance of my Unity over here. And I'm going to open up one of the instances. And so this is what I got so far. Oh, just making sure it's not recording and everything. Okay, so this dude is named Joe Blow. I can actually name this to whatever. Blow. There you go. And then, you know, network status, online, LAN, offline. I'm probably going to remove that LAN option. No one does that shit anymore. Team deathmatch, capture flag. You see, you know, I'll just leave it as team deathmatch right now. But it doesn't matter. You know, you could tell this is like from a first-person shooter or something. But the point is, when it's online like this and I'm press play, I'm going to press play right now. This is going to be my username. Pressing play, and in the background some shit happened. Like I connected to the Photon server, Photon lobby, and I created a room since the room didn't exist. And so now, you know, I don't know if this is really what you're going to see in the end, but this is what you see right now. The game really hasn't started, but right now I'm in a room. Like, you really can't visually see it, but I'm in a Photon room, and I'm waiting for players. And I know right now, since I know I created this room, I know I'm the master client with this instance of the application here, the game. And when I press start game, that's going to load another scene. And so I'm going to go over here to Unity. I'm going to go to my Unity here, and I'm going to click play as well. And so I'm going to see these same options here. I have my name is Lupita, Deathmatch, Network, and I'm going to press play right now. Now what's going to happen is I am already going to join that person's room because this other client has already created a room. So when I press play, I'm no longer going to create a room. I'm going to join one. And it's very hard to see this visually. But, yeah. So right now we're both in the same room. I've tested this out before, so I know it's working. But you know, this is a simplified. I need to get to this point and then start developing the game from here. Then I can start really making progress, and I know my game is, you know, multiplayer, you know, has all that functionality. But ultimately, right, this was too simple. Like, this wouldn't work in real life either. You have to incorporate probably features. I've already been learning up on PlayFab, where I'm allowed to, like, join with a team, for instance. So, you know, a lot of people love to do join their games with a friend or something, and that is a must for my game, and I'm going to do that. But even so, you would probably want some sort of matchmaking ranking system, MMR ranking. So when I click play right now, I just joined the first available, like automatically joined a room that was created for me. But, you know, when you get a lot of people looking for rooms to play in, and this is all going to probably be done in the back end, you know, it's not like you're going to go through a list manually to find a room to join. I could do that, but I don't know. You know, I just want players to press play. I want to play a game online, and it's going to be searching for shit. And if it can't find anything, it's going to create something, you know. So I mean, it's going to be a lot of work. But that's a whole nother project down the line, because right now I want to focus on having a multiplayer game, even though it's simple, where it's just me and probably a few other people can play realistically. But right now, I am not the master client here. I joined the other guy, and so the other guy is going to start the game since he's a master client. Start the game here. Loads this screen. Cool. And unfortunately, I don't have everything nice and pretty right now, but all our character models have spawned in the middle. And that's where they are right now. Okay, so everything is just condensed in the middle, so you can't really see them right now. But just know this client that you're looking at has chosen the orcs to play as, and this guy over here is playing the dwarves. Now, I still have a lot more work to do, but here are all these objects that were created, the monster objects, and they're all in the middle of the map. And so what I'm trying to show you and demonstrate right now is that some of these models belong to me, and some of these models belong to the other player, right, on his client. So remember, I am Lupita. So I'm going to scroll through the dwarfs, and you can kind of see this photon view. Is mine, Lupita, 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 and then lol, you suck. Then we're starting to get into the enemy players, right? And so one of the first things I learned really quickly, well, I mean as quick as possible, was to understand how to assign my player number and player team to these creatures, right? So even though I know this is my object here, this is mine, Lupita. What is Jabril? Jabril, he is player number 2. He is team number 2. You see that? That is cool. And what I also was able to assign is that on my canvas, which, you know, I'll probably find a better place to put this in the canvas, but I know now that I am player number 2 and team number 2. So what this boils down to is I will only be able to, what that boils down to is I know when it's my turn, since I know I'm player team 2, and I know what models I can manipulate and control. I mean, you know, I have is mine. That's one option, and also I know it from my player number 2. Player number 2 matches my canvas number, so that's going to help me progress. And so right now, this is about as good as I got it right now. I did add one functionality, right, because I wanted to see, can I do anything with these guys? Can I move them? Can I take damage? So I went with like, hey, I'm going to do some damage right now. So when I press the M button, I have it coded where I'm going to send a network message to everyone, and whoever owns the creature called Clog, Clog is going to take 1 damage. So here, I'm going to do on Clog right now. Look at Clog's health. His health is 5 right now. Now, also remember, Clog is not mine. Clog is you. Lol, you suck. But everybody has this code available if they press M. I'm going to press M right now. I'm going to look at Clog. And nothing happened, right? And that's also because I made sure, like, when you press M, it has to be, you have to own this monster, this creature. It has to be yours. And so I am on Lupita. I'm pressing M, and I do not own Clog. Clog is not mine, so I am unable to take that damage, right? So I'm pressing M, it just does nothing. Oh, and also I should say, I'm actually going to move that creature too. I did 2 things. So when I press M, Clog is going to take 1 damage, and it's going to move toward this blue. I'm going to reposition Clog, right? And I want him to move toward this blue deployment area. So when I press M on Well, You Suck, I'm going to open it up right now. You should see Clog move toward the center, and you should see Clog take some damage. And what you should also see is that the other client over here, Lupita, should see Clog move and take some damage as well. So let's see that. I'm going to press M. Boom. Baby, that is beautiful. Clog, this guy right here has taken some damage. He's taken 1 damage. And hey, look, I even have that saying, it's your creature. This is Lol, you suck. And there he is. So let's see if Lupita has seen Clog move, and let's see if Lupita also registers that Clog had taken some damage. There you go. Look at that. It's magic. Clog had moved magically from the well to over here, and he's taken some damage. This is, I tell you guys, this took a long freaking time to get here. But I'm happy because I know now that I can start making a lot of progress now, because I know how the networking goes. There's a big headache to begin with, but I think I'm getting there now. But let's do this one step further. Let's give some Clog more damage. Look, he's taking some more damage. Keep pressing M. Let's press M one more time. Boom, he has 1 health left. Let's make sure that registers on Lupita. There you go. Clog is almost dead. So what happens when I press M? Oh, just like in my game. If you watch my prior videos, Clog has been slain. Cool. Clog is dead. Okay. Let's go to Lupita. What happened there? Oh, Clog has been slain. That is awesome. So I think this is some great progress. This is definitely online. I'm using right now Photon servers. Right now I'm using the free version, but I do have I paid those on sale, so I should be able to use that 2-year subscription for 100 concurrent users, which, if I get to that point, that may mean my game is successful, but who knows if that will ever happen. But I'm definitely pushing this multiplayer, because I feel like, man, multiplayer is a must, and I definitely want team multiplayer, not just join random games. I've played some Nintendo games like freaking Super Smash Brothers, or even like I don't know. Like, I just remember some games, they don't even have abilities to join as teams, or with your friend, and it's crap. So I definitely don't want to do that. I know people will be pissed if you can't do that, especially if you have a 2v2 option. Or I do want to have a game mode where you're playing with a friend and you're playing against the AI. Oh, that's another freaking headache. I don't know how, getting the AI to play over the internet, I don't know how hard that would be. Maybe that won't be so bad. But that's going to be not fun to figure out. But got a lot of pain points to go through, but I think I can do it. Making some progress here. I've made my first step on making in multiplayer. So hopefully in my next video I will show you each player deploying their characters in their own respective deployment zones, and also maybe because that in itself might be a good project. So I might just show you a video after that. But I would love to also squeeze in, and that might be another video, movement. You know, the next thing would be movement. Clicking on your monster and moving it like normal, and having the other player register and see your movement, you know. So got a lot of work ahead of me, and that's it for this video.